multi-sectoral agreement with Qatar, plans underway to receive Qatar's investment team in Abuja. FCT administration loses thousands of bags of grapes to hoodlums Sunday at its Wagwa warehouse. Vietnam-bound businessman arrested with cocaine consignment at Abuja airport. And good morning, Nigeria. Today we shall discuss engineering solutions for sustainable development. The dream of any developed country and people on the planet is to live comfortable lives. Engineers often tell us that they hold the key to many of life's solutions and work daily on new solutions for sustainable development. Yeah. Very true. And engineers describe sustainable engineering as designing systems that fulfill current needs without sacrificing future needs. Now, concerned persons believe that sustainable engineering ought to consider the environment, the economy, and society in designing solutions to preserve it for future generations. Now, this therefore implies that sustainable engineers have an obligation to minimize waste, take advantage of renewable energy sources, should also take appropriate steps to reduce pollution and create systems that stand the test of time. In Nigeria, the challenge of most public infrastructure has largely been linked to lack of adherence to ideals of sustainable development. Many Nigerians insist that engineering profession must take charge of not just infrastructure, such as roads, bridges, public buildings, and other facilities, but also pay attention to the activities of the private sector. Many others also insist that creating solutions that develop society must be accompanied with the responsibility of efficiency that creates sustainability, but also add that more funding should be dedicated to this and properly included in the national development plans. We've seen in developed countries where engineering, comes to the surface, and you see inventions, solutions to climate change, exactly, because the world needs attention on climate change. Without it, I don't think the world can move forward. And others are also suggesting that environmental management should not be looked at as the sole responsibility of government. In all this, the pertinent questions of how much more engineers can do to help create solutions that further enhance development in Nigeria still lingers. These and other issues form our focus on the program today. We have a panel of guests that will be joining us shortly to speak on engineering solutions for sustainable development. Of course, we welcome you to the very first edition of the week. It's Monday, and we're glad you could join us. This is Good Morning, Nigeria. I'm Ian Ray John. We're glad you could join us. We're on a high, and Jumon Yusuf, welcome you to the program. We're reaching you live on the network service of the NTA. Chukudi Okolo Waja will join us for our usual newspaper review, but first let's join Mina Daniel for the morning highlights of the news. Good morning, Mina.
Good morning, Jumai and Ian. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the news. Nigeria and Qatar have signed agreements to leverage the potential of mutual cooperation in education, enterprise development, investment promotion, youth empowerment, mining, tourism and sports sectors. President Bola Tinubu and the Emir of State of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, witnessed the signing of the agreements. Meanwhile, at a Nigeria-Qatar business forum just held in Doha, the president assured genuine investors that Nigeria will not compromise standards as the government is committed to business evolution in the country.
A problem that some of you might encountered in the past should be something of the past and no obstacle to the future. We have men and women of integrity seated across from you here to give you assurances that Nigeria is open for serious business.
Meanwhile, Nigerian investors have been commending President Bola Tinubu for his leadership in changing the wrong narrative and perception of Nigeria across the world. The businessmen who spoke after the Nigeria-Qatar Business Forum in Doha say the marketing drive being led by the president himself around the world will in no distant time yield positive results on Nigeria's economy.
President as the Chief Investment Officer of the country. And the way he spoke today is really encouraging, even for some of us Nigerian investors that would not have looked at Qatar for partnership. I think this has really opened up a new avenue for funding.
The slogan is, we are committing the protection of the investment. This slogan is very important. This will definitely give a boom to the investors.
He makes our business easy by telling the good of Nigerians and Nigeria. And he is the one chairing the business forum as a president himself. So what I'm assuring Nigeria is, inshallah, within a short period of time, maybe maximum 1 year, 2 years, everybody will start seeing the impact of what Mr. President is doing.
For us in the health sector, we're already unlocking the healthcare value chain, and we call on investors to invest across the chain, from diagnostics to pharmaceuticals to services to digital technologies to training of health workers.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have intercepted a 40-year-old businessman with 1.45 kilograms of cocaine concealed in his luggage while attempting to board an Ethiopian airline flight number 950 to Vietnam via Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Hoodlums looted thousands of bags of grains meant for vulnerable Nigerians at the warehouse of the Federal Capital Territory Administration. Mandate Secretary Agric Secretariat Lawan Kologiedam, who was on ground to ascertain the level of damage.
One gas, they don't pack 2 trailer and this in Batra. Now only 1 trailer, God help. Who stand, we see na line. Now they no carry in Batra and gas. Now you open, you follow run, you know you come out.
We discovered that this warehouse belonged to FCT Agric, where grains were stored, and those grains were said to have been looted by hoodlums. It's really unfortunate and it's a sad one.
The House of Representatives says it will work closely with development partners and civil society organizations in promoting transparency and good governance in the country. The Chairman House Committee on Civil Society Organizations and Development Matters, Victor Obuzo, stated this during a meeting with CSOs and development partners in Abuja.
We are not at war with the civil space. The civil society, what they do for national development, nation building, it cannot be overlooked. So we are their friends. We have the same objective, building up nations, making Nigeria great.
And that's the news for now. Good morning, Nigeria continues after the break with Ere and Jumay.